Welcome back, everybody. Dren608 plays. We're playing Rogue Trader here. Just got done with a battle that we just kind of stumbled into. We're gonna loot up the bodies. There was some stuff back here. Okay, this is 100% if I have Jay come over and do it. What does this say?
Intriguing.
Pause. The set of symbols looks unfinished as if you only have half of the mysterious message in front of you. Why am I paused? This is Lord Xenos 100% over here. So let's go do this one. Okay. What has she got? She's got a fresh injury. Let's put everybody kind of in the center here. Let's use up these. We've got healing yourself.
I must thank you. You have offered me another chance.
Put another one in here. Use that on Jay.
I can heal your wounds, not your soul.
Thank you, Sheriff.
And grab another healing kit, because why not? Okay, where am I on the map? There's something here. Well, that's that Homunculus guy doing his things again. What's this? Webway Renaissance device. Mysterious door required to open a webway gate. Oh, we need that. So we've got that to help us open the gate. Okay. Xenos 75 here. What is this? Various crammed with the mechanisms of devices unknown to you, the sight of which makes you sick. Okay, let's PF5 this. In case I fail this, it's only 75 for Jay.
Too hard for a simple monkey.
Oh, Yrliet. Range capsule emits a barely perceptible buzz. Its thick walls barely contain the sounds coming from within, the sounds of a living and tormented creature. So, what can I do? Can I do anything? There's something down here. There's goods there. Oh, another skin patch kit. Razebone woven battle suit. That might be interesting. Assault cloak. And dark swiftness, of course. Activate the mechanism. Don't know that I want to activate the mechanism. Do we want to activate this? I don't know what it does. It's pretty much the end of this level, and then we're going to go on to the next one. Just so that we know what it does, we may come back to a quick save here. Let's put us all back here. Let's quick save in case I don't like what this does. Activate that. An unset mechanism whirs to life. Uh-oh, this is one of those puzzles. I'm doing this wrong. Alright, probably doing it in the wrong order. What does it do? Eklendyl. Despite his many bleeding wounds, the stately Eldari calmly straightens his shoulders and raises his narrow chin as he scrutinizes you with his keen gaze. Mysterious blue lights glimmer in his emerald green eyes. A monkey and an outcast have found their way into the heart of the Dark City to save what little remains. The universe is full of cruel surprises, but this is an outcome I managed to foresee. Yrliet, you have foreseen our meeting, but could not avoid being captured? What is the point of your prophecies, then? Your glares daggers at her fellow Eldari, but he does not look away. Eklendyl. I am glad our paths have crossed again, my child. It is a great relief for me to know you are alive. But what is this? The Farseer frowns and concern surfaces on his face. Your soul wanders in the gloom, entangled in the brush of a despicable connection. I see that it grows from the seeds of solitude, doubts, and fears. And this thread of fate stretches between you and his keen-eyed darts to you. A monkey. Yes. Oh, Yrliet, may Assyrian spare you from ever facing the Farseer's judgment. For our kin are intolerant of such aberrations that make our souls fade. You know this. Our relationship is none of your concern. It's not despicable or wrong. Yeah, I'll go there. There is no need for you to explain yourself to him, Yrliet, especially not after you have released him from the torment of the Fleshmaster's terrible construct. Lord Xenos succeeded. Make an Eldari greeting gesture with your hands. I can do this. Yay! You have got yourself a most amusing monkey to keep you company, Yrliet. He understands our language and even knows a thing or two about customary greetings. Not that any of it makes him a worthy companion for you to have on your path. It is the Yrliet who keeps me at his side. Were it not for him, my soul would have long left this body, or else I would have been devoured by a minion of She Who Thirsts, and I would never have learned the truth of what happened to Coronus. Perhaps we ought to start by introducing ourselves? Of course, Yrliet, one forgets one's good manners all too easily in the Dark City. I can barely contain her fury as she gestures toward her fellow Eldari. Standing before you is Eklendyl Meresh, who walks the path of the Farseer. He is the all-seeing eye and the timeless sentinel of the Coronus. He was, that is. Either way, a monkey's name is not the kind of thing he would be particularly interested in case you were expecting me to introduce you to you in turn. He will forget your name as serenely as one forgets a troubled dream in the morning. That's okay. Just like no one talked to. Yrliet, now that is a word I have not heard in years. The Farseer does not even look in your direction. Let's find our way home. What did you mean? Were there other Farseers? Between the homunculus torches, I was able to glance inside my kin's desperate minds. So every soul that was extinguished in this spire, I sang a lament for every brother and sister sacrificed by the Dark Ones. I carry their memory in my heart, and if I get out of here alive, their names will not be forgotten. Your senses fail you, Eklendyl. Many died, but not all. Turns around sharply and points to the game board containing the Farseer soul. I was unable to save her, but you could have tried. Madara recoils as he looks at the bloody game board. What is this? Explain yourself, monkey. What in all God's names made you decide to torture one of my sisters? Are you aware that a Farseer soul is imprisoned in this object, and that your every touch causes unspeakable pain to her mortal soul? It's my trophy. Do not even think of taking it from me. I did what I could to save the Farseer souls, but I can only do so much. Madara's expression is inscrutable, but he struggles to speak. You have set me free, and I am grateful for the rescue, but what you are doing is wrong. I can free my sister's tortured soul if you let me, monkey. I'm asking you for one more favor. Yeah. In surprise in her eyes, there is a faint and fleeting trace of softness and gratitude. Really, I must confess, I have set little store on your species in the past. Perhaps in some regards I was wrong to do so. Lost items in prison prisoners. Okay, hopefully it gave me some experience points. Xenos nods in gratitude, finds a spirit stone on one of the homunculus' desks, and chants a few unfamiliar words with your elucidator does not catch. Dark blood spores out of the game board in the Alderi's hands. But as soon as he finishes his chant, a warm glow suffuses the stone he's holding. It is done. Okay. You would help us to find our way home? What did you mean? Countless hours I spent in the homunculus' cage were not all spent in the throes of agony. I listened, I observed, I absorbed, and soon learned that an age-old gate built by our ancestors is hidden in the heart of the spire. A webway gate connected to the world outside. I can unseal it and forge our path to salvation. I can help you make your way out of the dark city and leave this place behind, but you must take me to the gate. My mind is still firm, and my spirit is unbreakable. My body, on the other hand, will not soon forget the pains of grace. What is the point of your questions, Owlcat? I can guide you to the gate myself, but not before Yrliet, who walks the path of the Farseer, the all-seeing eye, and timeless sentinel of Koronus, pours the light of truth into the bottomless well of my fear and doubt. He's at your disposal. Do what you're going to do. I feared this moment would never come. Yrliet takes a deep breath and looks into the Farseer's eyes. Look at me, Eklendyl, and tell me what adversity befell our home. As a council member, you cannot possibly be unaware of the truth. And Eklendyl, do not even consider hiding anything from me. Sometimes ignorance is truly bliss, my child, but I cannot deny you your right to know the truth. Farseer tosses back his head, and his voice sounds like rolling thunder. When we found ourselves amid the stars of this stellar fabric, we encountered a Monkey ship. A ship much too puny to take on an Asrani world. Or so we thought, until the Council was struck with a vision of the horror to come. This ship would be our doom, not only for us on Koronus, but for all Aldori kind among the nearby stars, and even for those whose paths stretched far beyond the stars. We could not allow such a thing to happen. When the ship approached, we pierced it with 100 salvos, and then rejoiced, for among the wreckage, the Rangers found no trace of the unforeseen curse. Asaurian, how wrong were we? The ships that returned from their reconnaissance to our starports were already carrying it on their wings, whether it was a scratch from a passing wreck on the infected ashes of the Monkey ship that the cosmic winds had not had time to disperse. The plague crept into our home and immediately began to eat away at the craft world's very flesh. In the infinity circuit, the souls of the ancestors battled the spreading pestilence ferociously, but the world was falling apart, and there was no stopping it. Spires collapsed, rivers dried up, and the ground itself sank, and all living things turned into a strange blend of organic matter and metal. We fought for our home until the very end, but when it became clear that Koronus was beyond saving, the Council decided to gather all who remained, board them on the surviving shuttles, and scatter across the galaxy to look for salvation. And that was what we did. But who steered this infected vessel towards Koronus?
I am afraid you already know the answer, Owlcat. You just cannot accept it.
Looks at you with a mixture of sorrow and sympathy.
Your predecessor, she who previously owned this vessel and your entire protectorate. The monkey who kept a piece of my homeworld in her study, like a trifle or trophy of no great significance.
So it was your accursed kind's light with a golden radiance. Wait, Eklendyl. Shedding innocent blood will not bring our home back. The Owlcat is guilty only of helping me to reach this place and free you. Blood of the execution of our people flows through the veins of the one you long to save. What was the monkey done to deserve your mercy? The golden sparks slowly die away, and the Farseer wearily closes his eyes. said a disease broke out on board the ship. You want to know how your kinspeople destroy my world so you can follow their example? Answer the question, not for the Monkey's amusement, but for the sake of those whose souls dissolved in infinity. First we thought the Monkey were in the service of the greatest enemy of our kind, the one who lurks beyond the edge of reality. But the world's affliction manifested itself differently. It distorted Koronus while avoiding encounters with the souls of our ancestors. We were waiting for Salinthresh, the destroyer of souls, to burst her way in through the gaping wounds of the world. Yet our gaze was directed away from our suffering. No one ever managed to identify the nature of the curse, even as we watched it destroy our home. And so, having lost all hope of saving it, we fled. Okay, how'd you end up here? Our twisted cousins found our arcs in the void's cold embrace. At first it seemed they were going to save us, to extend a helping hand, and so we told them what had happened to Koronus and where to look for it. But our cousins' souls are dark and thirst for blood. My arc was one of the first they seized. Continue. Drukhari massacred hundreds of thousands of their own kind for fleeting pleasure's sake, and enslaved the Farseers for their accursed experiments. And that monkey was how I ended up hanging in this cage. Completely destroyed? It's hard to believe. The Aberranian took care of what remained, but that is none of your concern, monkey. Silent for a while, and then says coldly, but Eklendyl, how did Koronus end up in the Expanse, this close to the monkey's ships and the Dark One's hunting grounds? That was the path chosen by the Council, my child. We had charted Koronus' course among the stars for years, and no one had an inkling of the terrible fate that would await us in a place that promised us salvation. Perception test succeeded. Yay, Yrliet. No one knew. Farseer looks away for a mere second, but an itching sensation immediately burrows its way into the base of your skull. Something is wrong here. Got 98 experience points for it. The paths I have walked have taught me a great deal, to see the truth where it is concealed, and not to hesitate to cut off the head of a lying snake that tries to coil around my heart. Stares unblinking at her fellow Adari, fury gleaming in her eyes. If the entire Farseer Council failed to foresee their world's doom, then everything the children of Surian have been taught about paths for centuries is a lie. You are hiding something, Eklendyl. Speak. Speak now. How dare you take that tone with me, outcast? I am not obliged to justify myself before you, let alone protest my innocence. This torture chamber, Eklendyl. Is this the thanks we get? If you wish to leave this place alive, you would do well to start telling Xenos. Perhaps I should put you back in the cage? Why hold anything back? Tired of you, Xenos, why don't I just kill you and have done with it? Why hold anything back? Let's do 4. We have been steering Koronus along a course prophesied by the stars themselves, until Shale's tumultuous currents cast us to the edge of the Great Wound. A storm was coming, threatening to sweep Koronus away from its path, and so the Council decided on a route to safety, cross the nearest islet of hope, and into a place known among the Monkey as the Coronus Expanse. We stood by our decision, but there came a point where the prophecies became even darker and more unsettling. Someone proposed altering the course, but the closing grip of a raging sail was blocking our path on all sides. It was then that the Council's opinion was split. My vote was the deciding one in that difficult debate, for I believed that the prophecy had promised us salvation in the Expanse could not have been a lie. You already know what happened next. Closes his eyes and turns away, unwilling to meet her gaze. Come on. So we were doomed. I should have stayed on Koronus. I could have tried to help those who survived the disaster. If only I had not chosen the accursed path and left the craft world, I could have at least tried to save someone. You abandoned Koronus when it needed you most. When it needed you, now everyone you know is dead. What do you think was going to happen? You're not to blame for the demise of your world. Subverting fate is beyond your power. Was it not the Farseers who made a bad decision? What difference would it make if you had been on Koronus? Subverting fate is beyond your power. Smells twist and displeasure. Farseers, it was not beyond their power. They led Koronus to prosperity for years, only to become too blind what was going on around them. Had they not followed the prophecy as the old customs required? Had they changed course instead, Coronus might still be whole. This sounds very iconoclastic. Stay silent for a long time, peering into the face of the Farseer standing across from her, calm and collected. He looks prepared to meet his fate. Finally, he replies, "We are both guilty and both deserve a fate much more terrible than death. However, it is too early for us to leave this world before we have atoned for our guilt. Come with me, Eklendyl. We have a lot to do before the great oblivion. We will find our brothers and sisters and protect them from those who seek to harm them. Perhaps we may even find a new home." Your words are like a healing melody flowing into my tormented soul. For the first time, a slight smile crosses the fair Farseer's lips. "I accept your proposal, my child." And now, I have another twit. That's the card to the webway gate. I got a lot of talking to do. Got a lot of experience points. How close am I? Oh man! You gotta be kidding! 197! How rude of you to be 197! Okay, so we freed up a Farseer. Don't I have to? I gotta have to fight in another big ass battle, right? There's nothing out here. Alright, we're gonna run up by the door. Should I have Mischievous J come back and activate whatever this device was? I could have her do that, just for kicks. What's my time? 21 minutes. I don't think we want to go through the door quite yet. But I'm wondering if I should have Jay.
Ready as always.
Jay, you're a mischievous little imp. I'm gonna have you run back down here.
The treasures of the Koronus await.
I think it's down here. Isn't it? Where are you, Jay? No, it's not there. It's down a little bit further. There was something around here. There's some sort of device. This thing. Alright, we're gonna quick save. I'm gonna see if Jay can activate this device.
Oh, don't you trust me?
Let's see what it does. It gave us goods. Oh, it gave us grenades! I'm glad I went back and did this. 2 more ectoplasmic grenades. Desolation blast pistol. Fire 1. I think multiple shots are better. A sharpshooter rifle. And multiple pumps. Yeah, we're gonna take all that. We got more grenades! Okay, I'm glad I went back and did this. Jay? Run back up here and say, "Look what I found, guys." Okay, so there's just that one red thing on the outside that I don't know what to do about. Okay. Alright, we're gonna line up on the door. I think we have to move
I
up.
always keep my options open.
You're not following me, Eklendyl. There we are. I think this is like an elevator of some sort. This is where we're going to stop. Going to cut this one a little bit short. 25 minutes or so. So we had a battle last time. We found this Farseer. We're trying to get him to the webway gate. Hopefully he doesn't get his butt killed along the way. I assume that Marazai will just kind of follow along with us until we get to that final battle. Whoever against Yrliet or whatever her freaking name is. He said there was something he didn't want people to find. I don't know what it is, but we do have the thing that Yrliet said she needed to open up the webway gate. So hopefully we can solve this thing out in the next few sessions. So I do have other uninformed playthroughs. So I almost forgot what I called them. Uninformed playthroughs are: I do not look in the wikis, I do not look at videos of the current state of the game that I'm in. In the case of this game and in Baldur's Gate 3, both of them, I have gone back and started watching a few of the creators that I usually follow on these games. I have watched their like prologue and the very beginning of their chapter 1s in both of those games, just to see everything that I've missed, which is quite a bit, to be honest. So I am doing that just to keep me focused on continuing. Um, I had despaired when this thing threw me into Commoragh here. I was ready to quit, and it was my sons who said, "Try, Dad. Just try it and see how it goes. Let's see what they did with it." Because they kind of wanted to just see what we did with it. You know, what Owlcat did with this place. It's okay. It's much more of a linear path here in Commoragh on Rogue Trader here. There's not a whole lot of like different ways to solve the problem. But the only thing is different little side paths might give you a little bit more equipment, like that one there. By turning on the device, I managed to get some goods and I got some more grenades. So that's about the only optional things that you end up doing. Most of it is very linear as far as you have to go here, you have to go through that door, you have to do this, you have to do that in order to recover your people and everything else. So it is a bit linear that way. I did not see a lot of really big choices along the way. Well, one choice was to take Marzai on your side or just axe him. And then there was another one which was choosing between the being betrayed by the Commissar or being betrayed by Malice. So, who's a Slith, or however they say it, Silith. Snake people. So, yeah, it's been interesting. It's definitely 40K, doom and gloom future type things, so you gotta kind of expect bad things to happen to you. All along the way, this was just a way too big of a shock. I really didn't expect something like this until maybe like the 4th chapter. You know, like where you're getting really near the end, and this would be the sort of the stepping stone to going into whatever the ending battle might be. This seems a little early to me because supposedly I think there's supposed to be like 5 chapters. And the last rumors I had was that there was stuff brewing back on the first world you get to in the Coronus Expanse. So I was a little flummoxed that I ended up here. Okay? Alright, well, anyway. I'm Dren608. Until we meet again, stay safe, and bye-bye.